So, you've spent hours rereading your notes, your textbook is a rainbow of highlighter ink, and yet a week after the exam, it's all gone. Sound familiar? What if I told you that the way most of us are taught to study is scientifically one of the worst ways to learn? The problem isn't that you're not studying hard enough, it's that you're not studying smart. We have this idea that getting into a place like Harvard requires some kind of secret genius DNA. But the truth, their biggest advantage is a set of powerful learning strategies that absolutely anyone can use to master a subject. Today, we're covering the three core study secrets that top students live by. These have nothing to do with being a genius and everything to do with using your brain the way it was designed to be used. And trust me, you'll want to stick around for the third one. It's a total game changer for acing your toughest exams without pulling all-nighters. Secret number one, active recall, the memory hack that works like magic. First up is the powerhouse of all study techniques, active recall. Most of us are taught to study passively. We read the chapter, we watch the lecture, we go over our notes again and again. It feels productive, right? But this creates what psychologists call an illusion of learning. You start to recognize the information, and your brain mistakes that for knowing it. Big difference. Active recall flips that on its head. Instead of just trying to cram information in, you have to actively pull it out. It's like a workout for your brain. The more you struggle and force your brain to retrieve a piece of information, the stronger and more permanent that memory becomes. So how do you actually do this? It's almost deceptively simple. After you read a chapter or finish a lecture, shut the book, hide your notes, then try to write down or say out loud everything you just learned. Use flashcards, but the golden rule is to force yourself to say the answer before you flip the card over. Countless studies have shown this method blows passive reading out of the water for long-term retention. So next time you sit down to study, stop just reading, start quizzing. Secret number two, the case study method. Think like a pro. Secret number two is how you go from just memorizing facts to actually learning how to think. This is the legendary case study method, a cornerstone of places like Harvard Business School and Harvard Law School. Here's the big idea. Instead of a textbook full of theories, students get a case, a 10 or 20-page document about a real-world problem that an actual company faced. The information is messy, incomplete, and confusing, just like real life. The entire class is spent debating potential solutions and defending their strategies. This forces you to take abstract ideas and apply them to messy, practical problems. It trains you to make decisions when you don't have all the answers and to analyze an issue from every possible angle. And you don't need to be in an Ivy League lecture hall to do this. Just take a concept you're learning and find a real-world example. Studying biology? Analyze a recent public health response. Learning marketing? Deconstruct a brand's latest viral campaign. Even better, try to teach the concept to a friend. This triggers something called the protege effect. The simple act of teaching forces you to understand the material on a completely different level. All right. Before we get to our final secret, which is my personal favorite for getting better grades in less time, I want to hear from you. What's the one study habit you know is holding you back? Drop it in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious to see what we're all fighting against. Secret number three, intentional planning and the less is more rule. And here it is, the secret that separates the calm, prepared students from the ones who are perpetually stressed and cramming. Intentional planning. There's a myth that top students are just studying 24/7. The reality is they are ruthlessly efficient. They instinctively understand Parkinson's law. Work will always expand to fill the time you give it. So they don't give it that much time. First, they plan everything and they never, ever cram. They use methods like SMART goals to get hyper-specific. A top student doesn't say, I'm going to study chemistry. They say, I'm going to spend 1 hour at the library from 6 to 7 p.m., finishing the practice problems for chapters 1 through 3. See the difference? Second, they live by the Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule. They know that 20% of the concepts in a course will likely make up 80% of the exam questions. So they laser focus on mastering that critical 20% instead of trying to memorize every single word in a 500-page textbook. Finally, they weave in spaced repetition, reviewing that material in short, planned bursts over a long period of time, which is proven to be far more effective than one marathon study session. So let's recap. The secrets to studying like a top student have nothing to do with genius and everything to do with strategy. Active recall, don't just push information in, constantly pull it out by testing yourself. The case study method. Stop just memorizing ideas, apply them to real, messy problems. Intentional planning. Be efficient. Plan your work, focus on the high impact 20%, and space out your reviews. You don't have to do all of this at once. Pick one that sounds interesting and try weaving it into your routine. The goal isn't to study harder, it's to finally start studying smarter. If you got some value out of this video, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. It really does help. And make sure to subscribe for more tips to help you win at school and in life.